Now we are going to talk about a process known as Haber's process. Now Haber's process is the process for manufacture of ammonia. That is large scale, or you can say the industrial preparation of ammonia. The other two that we discussed were the lab preparation, where we produce the thing in the small quantities. Now here, what is the name of the process? Haber's process. Very important. Often they ask, name the process used for the manufacturing of ammonia. That process is known as Haber's process. Now, what is required to be learned? Very little. Book in the book they have given you lot of information, but your syllabus requires to learn certain things. That is basically the equation, and that too you already know. The inputs are, that is a requirement or inputs. If sometimes they ask you the input or the reactants for this particular reaction are nitrogen, that is N2, and hydrogen in the ratio 1:3. That is 1 part of nitrogen and 3 part of hydrogen, and the output you are going to get will be ammonia gas, that is NH3. Now let us write the reaction. You already know this reaction, N2 plus 3H2, a reversible reaction. It gives you 2NH3, and then heat is evolved. It is an exothermic reaction. Writing the conditions for the reaction is very important. Temperature is 450 degrees Celsius to 500 degrees Celsius. Without the condition, your reaction will not be acceptable. And then the pressure is 200 to 900 atmosphere. Then the catalyst is finally divided iron. And then there is a promoter also. A promoter, catalyst is something which alters the rate of the reaction. And what is a promoter? Promoter is something which enhances the efficiency of the catalyst, and molybdenum is used as a promoter here. So you can write the symbols also, but if your name is asked, then you need to write the name also. This is very important thing, that you need to write the name. So this is, if you learn this much, that completes your Haber's process. You know what are the inputs, nitrogen and hydrogen. You know the reactants, the ratio of the reactant, that is nitrogen is 1 part, so the ratio of nitrogen to hydrogen is 1:3, and then it gives you 2 volumes of ammonia. Reaction is exothermic. Reaction temperature will be 450 to 500 degrees Celsius. Pressure required is 200 to 900 atmosphere. Catalyst is finally divided iron. Even Fe2O3 can be used, and the promoter is molybdenum. Along with this, only two thing that you need to keep noting here will be, only initial heating is required. As the reaction is exothermic, the heat for the reaction comes from reaction itself. So because it is in an exothermic reaction, what happens in the exothermic reaction? The heat comes from the reaction itself. So if you will just start the reaction, and after that there will be no heat required. So reasoning, they may ask you this. And then there is one precaution that you need to take, is that the catalyst should be without any kind of impurities. Impurities must not be present in the catalyst. must not be present in catalyst because impurities poison the catalyst. Now the catalyst is not going to die because of the impurities. Impurities poison the catalyst will reduce the efficiency of the catalyst. So the catalyst is not going to work efficiently in the presence of impurities. So this is the Haber's process. You know what is the purpose of Haber's process? It is the manufacturing of ammonia, that is large scale production of ammonia. And then if you remember this reaction along with the proper condition, your Haber's process is done. Now we come on to the physical properties of ammonia. Now the physical properties of ammonia. Ammonia, you know, it is a colorless gas. Then it has a pungent odor. Then it is non-poisonous but can be fatal in the large doses because it affects the respiratory tract. Then it is highly soluble in water. It is easily liquefiable. You can easily liquefy it. Then this one important thing, this has density. It is lighter than air. So we talked about ammonia, the Haber's process, and the physical properties of ammonia. Now in the physical properties only, like we talked about, it is highly soluble in water. So there is an experiment known as fountain experiment. Now the aim of this experiment is to show high solubility of ammonia in water. The main aim is this only. Then we also come to know something more along with this. So what is the aim of this experiment? To show high solubility of the high word is very important. You need to mention the word high solubility. This to show high solubility of ammonia in water, that is very important. Now how the experiment is done? You have done the same experiment in the chapter of HCl. If you remember, we used to take our inverted round bottom flask. Inside this we fill in ammonia gas, that is NH3 dry ammonia, and then there is a dropper being attached here, and this there is, you know, it's closed from here, and then there is a capillary tube, or you can say a jet tube, that goes out, not straight, but let me just show you. And then we have this trough, or you can say any vessel which contains the litmus solution. And here in this case, if you remember, in case of HCl we have taken a blue litmus solution. Here we are going to take a red litmus solution. And now this cannot just lie here in this can be suspended in air like this. There will be a stand and the arrangement and all those things, so we are not showing it here just now. Now what is going to happen? We'll just press the dropper and the water is going to come out. As we press the dropper, ammonia will dissolve in water, and inside this a partial vacuum or a low pressure will be created. Now as the low pressure will be created here, just extend this this thing here. This red litmus solution will rise up and will come out here in the form of a blue color fountain. So you'll see a blue fountain here. In case of HCl, you find a red color fountain, but here you can see a blue color fountain. In HCl was acidic in nature, so we used to take red blue litmus solution and it used to turn red because of the presence of HCl. And here we take a red litmus solution and you get a blue color fountain in case of ammonia. So this particular experiment works for both HCl and ammonia. And for ammonia it shows as well as for HCl, it shows the high solubility of those particular gases in water. Along with that, this is the main aim. Along with that, it also tells about the nature of the ammonia gas. It shows that ammonia is basic in nature. Basic in nature. So there are two important things that we come to know from this fountain experiment. Name of the experiment is fountain experiment. The aim is it shows high solubility of ammonia into water, and it also shows that ammonia is basic in nature because it changes the red litmus to blue. Thank you.